Ooh, what's up, Steeler Nation? We are the Observers, Smo and Chris here today.
Two
Grant can't,
thirds.
Grant can't stomach loaded nachos, let alone bad Steelers offense. So took the night off.
He's famously the one last week who said he wasn't going to get worked up about the preseason, and he's worked up about the preseason.
I mean, that was scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was disappointing. It's very hyped up seeing Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, new quarterback room. So you would think that it's a little more exciting than what it was, but it was incredibly disappointing and downright scary at times.
I mean, I guess like I don't. I think after last year, I mean, I've learned my lesson to just not care about the preseason. I feel like so I missed like the first, pretty much the first half of this driving home. Have rewatched. I watched the all 22 that I shared with you guys of Russell's plays. And I honestly don't think they like tried. like I don't think that they've like I've seen highlights where they've run like the same handoff like five times and
Mhm.
just like I don't see guys like going hard. I don't see any like there's no chance they're running like the actual offense. Like, it's all just pretty standard stuff. And
Yeah,
especially
verbatim.
this game, like these two, they had that in squad practice against each other on Thursday, which by all accounts of reporters on both sides was decently physical. Um, it's got to be difficult to even go from like we've got this physical practice where like the starters were kind of going at each other to then like okay now we have to actually play a game a few days later. Like why are we playing this game? We just had the practice against each other. So I don't know. It just felt like very blah on both sides. Like I don't the Bills certainly didn't play well. And I get it, they didn't play their starting quarterback, but like that's still a good team. Um, so I don't know. It's just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch Trubisky came back to Pittsburgh and was very Mitch. Threw a pick to Miles Killebrew of all people. But it was like Broderick Jones had triggered childhood trauma where he was just bullied, dude. Like that looked terrible. He
Yeah.
was getting pushed and thrown around. Like you talk about get out the club. That's what it looked like with him. We traded up to get him, and I'm hoping he's not hurt. I'm hoping psychologically he's able to bounce back from that because the media is going to be riding him. Social media, they're going to be like, "What the hell happened to you?" And Broderick, love you, bro. Please bounce back. Please.
Word is that he did get hurt in practice though. He was apparently wearing like some elbow brace.
Yeah.
Um, so like I don't feel like that first sack he gave up, like he's just like going back at his back pedal and gets rushed straight in. Like I don't either like his arm was really hurting or like he just wasn't giving 100%. Like I refuse to believe that a 6'7", 300 some pound dude just gets manhandled on his first attempt to block something. Like it just looked it just looked like very like nonchalant. Um, I also don't think we're doing him any favors. Like you just said, like we traded up for this dude to play left tackle, so play the fucking guy at left tackle. Like, can we like stop making him play a position that's not? And then you draft another tackle who like the word out from Jerry Dulac is that he's going to start at right tackle. So like, why is
Mhm.
Broderick even playing over there at all? Like, it's just it's all weird.
We coddle Dan Moore like somebody when we started participation trophies. Like that's how we treat this guy. Like his very existence is hurting Broderick Jones.
It's
And
it's it's super weird. I don't even like. I personally don't even have like. I don't. Dan Moore's not some all world left tackle. Um, but like, I personally have like nothing against him. Like, it's just like if the Steelers think he's that great and he's perfectly suitable left tackle, then stop drafting tackles. Like that's the only downside I see. Because then you're in this situation where you don't play the guy you drafted in the first round because you
Mhm.
got this dude hanging around there that you like. And if you like this dude so much, then why'd you draft? Why'd you draft
Right.
two other guys at the same position?
Yeah, and it's interesting because we got Troy who we're saying he's ready to start right away. So then what's up with Broderick who we traded up to get and apparently he's not. I don't get the thing with Dan Moore. Are we trading him because we have another swing tackle? Which one is it? Is it Spencer Anderson
Yeah, he can't. He's
or
like
is
he's
it
been all over, but that Dylan Cook,
Dylan Cook? Yeah.
yeah,
So we've got somebody else that's able to be a reliable swing tackle. So why keep Dan Moore there and continue to stunt Broderick's growth? Like I am starting to be worried about that. I think of Kevin Dotson and how he left, went to the Rams, and he was one of the top rated guards. So what's happening with Jones?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he obviously had like his rookie mishaps last year at times, but like then at other times looked really good. Like
Yeah.
just I don't know. You've invested in three high draft picks on the O line and two free agency signings on the interior, and like by doing that, that's who you should be going with. Like you should be going through whatever growing pains, whatever need be. If you refuse to sit Dan Moore, then trade him for whatever pick you can get. Like it just doesn't make any sense the way they're handling it.
Yeah, something, you mentioned lackluster effort, but something that stood out to me, one of the first pass plays, Broderick popped off the screen because his jump off the line, I mean, he jumped back like he looked like crazy athletic. I was like, oh, he's ready to roll. But then he just got manhandled. It was a very odd game.
It was weird. It was weird. I mean, rewatching it all, those like I don't know, man. Like you can't. I just don't. We're a team that's going to have to establish the run and do things off the run. Like they're out here in the preseason running play action passes, despite the fact that they have like two rushing yards. Like a play action pass isn't going to work when you're not like successfully running some sort of game plan. So like and then it was at the opening drive. They're whatever drive they were 3rd and 5. Calvin Austin
Mhm.
takes a false start. They're 3rd and 2. They get a holding penalty. Like, yeah, when you're 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 10, you don't convert first downs that often. So like they're those are known drive killers. And
But
like if
at what point do we stop killing ourselves? Because it's such a common theme for us.
yeah,
When do we stop killing ourselves and putting ourselves behind the sticks? It's just such a common theme. And at a point, yeah, when people say you got to criticize coaching, I do get it at that point. Like these players, man, get your head in the freaking game.
they did have moments that like looking through at each individual play, it's just like one you can tell Russ is just an NFL quarterback. Like when he had time, he's like processing the whole field. He threw it left, right, hit I think maybe Van Jefferson over the middle for a decent gain. They had even that 3rd and 12 play. I think he had that little dump to Fryermuth for 8 yards, and they almost picked up the first. Like
Mhm.
he clearly can read a defense. There were a lot of times in those rushes where like you can just imagine Kenny just bailing out instantly. And there are times where like Russ just like bounced around and was in the pocket a little bit and like thought about trying to do something, and then probably in his head was like, "This is the preseason. I'm just going to take a sack. Like I'm not going to throw this into no man's land for no reason." Um, so I mean, I don't know. It
Speaking
is
of
whatever. It's whatever.
evaluating quarterbacks, did you happen to see that article or did you see Mark Schler talking about Russ?
No.
Oh my gosh. He said that Russell Wilson does not know how to play football. He said that the offensive line was just fine. And Mark Schler was an NFL offensive lineman. For him to say that the O line was just fine, he has this disdain for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he
And
really
I mean,
does.
he just sounds like an idiot if you're sitting there saying, "Oh, the O line was just fine." You're a hater.
Yeah, I don't know. I just chalk it up to preseason, man. Like at this point, like you got to. Like, we've lost starting right tackle in the first preseason game. We've now lost Jalen Warren. We've got Broderick Smith. Like just like get through these practice sessions healthy. And I don't know what they plan to do with the third preseason game. I think since Russ didn't practice all that much, like it'd be nice to see him for a series just to like, and even then, just like go out there and run some quick slants or like some 3 yard. I don't need to see the whole offense. Just get in a little rhythm, pick up a first down or two, and then get off the field. Like even this game, if he throws it 6 inches in from the sideline and pick and stays in bounds, we're having a whole different conversation.
I still
Like
feel like he caught that,
it's just
man.
like, come on, man. Like
For
they moved the ball up the field a little bit. They took a shot. They almost had it. Like whatever, whatever.
I have some friends. I would honestly, I still feel like he caught that pass. I feel like he got the toes in. and I've got some friends that are Cowboys fans. This is probably why I'm having this argument because they're delusional, but they just they're Pickens deniers. They can't accept the fact that he has a crazy catch radius. People will talk about, oh, separation, but like 50-50 balls just aren't 50-50 balls when it's Pickens. So yeah, I mean, I wish he would have hauled that one in and had another highlight just out of
Yeah, he almost
preseason.
did. I mean, there were times where he might have maybe a couple other times they could have thrown his way. I think they just ran some standard plays and like threw a token little swing pass to Cordero Patterson that like no one blocked for. Like it's just like I think they were just doing. It came off like they were just doing stuff just to do it. And so like I like I can put zero stock into this game and anything that happened from it, good and bad. Like yeah, the defense looked good. Like okay, they were playing against Mitch Trubisky. Like let's relax. Let's they ran some stunts and Herbig ran free and like great.
Perfect looked great.
And what I told you guys in text, like if I would have any gripe, it's the fact that people that are calling for Justin Fields to start and dude played an entire half against backups and didn't do a goddamn thing. So like, like even like Mason and Duck and all those guys would piece up backups. Kenny's rookie year, he pieced up backups. Like I didn't see anything there that was. It seemed like he had more freedom to do things, but then I don't know. I'm just talking in circles. I'm just talking in circles. I
I
feel like
mean,
at times with Justin, they probably told him like, we don't need you running. There's probably 3 or 4 plays where he could have ran for 20 or 30 yards. And I feel like they've told him like, don't do that in the preseason. Like
yeah,
just don't do it. It's not worth it.
he had that one breakaway play. He broke a sack and then threw a pass, could have been picked off, and then our guy ended up catching it on the sideline. People were making a big deal about that play. The amazing part of the play is avoiding the sack. The throw itself, it should have been picked off, right? Hit the
Yeah.
guy in both of his hands. So not too much there. Now, this was an episode where really we needed Grant because I mean, there's just been panic throughout Steeler Nation, and if anyone embodies the panic, it is
Oh,
Grant.
dude, he's losing it already.
To
He's
the
losing
point
it.
he's like, I'm out.
There's
Season's over.
there's 2 things. I'd say here's the legit concerns of the Steelers right now. It's injuries.
Yeah.
It's rolling like, and that's Fautanu, Warren. I don't know what's up with High. Not that I would want Highsmith to play in either of these 2 games, but like, how's that dude hurt from the offseason? Like, what was he doing in the offseason that he can't come back like fully ready to go?
Hurt his
Um,
groin.
and then the whole preseason thing of like, I'm just like a little concerned going into week 1 without like TJ, Cam, make any of these dudes seeing like any bit of action. They're just going cold into the first game against like what could be a half decent offense. That'll be interesting. Uh, Boswell missing field goals, not cool. Like, don't make this one of those seasons, dude. Like, a field goal's a field goal, preseason or not. Like, you got set up at one. Like, yeah, we didn't move the ball. You got a 51 yarder. You're usually like money in Heinz Field from any distance. So like, let's start making those. But I will say, what is rocking and rolling is the fucking punter, dude. And you knew it was coming.
I knew it. Because that's when I realized you weren't like you were driving because I was like, Smo, are you not seeing these punts? How are you not said anything about this?
My man is booming them.
Yeah.
He's flipping fields left and right. That dude is taking preseason seriously. He's
Somebody has
consistently
to.
hitting on like 50 plus. He averaged like 58 yards a punt.
Hmm.
I don't know if Harvin punted 58 yards total last year.
Probably not. And we're going to need it if the offense is going to be slow. Give our defense a shot to get the ball back and give us as many opportunities to get a rhythm going. I'll say, we didn't talk after the first game, but there have been some bright spots outside of punter. Grant was talking about players that were potentially busts. Broderick, obviously, one of them. But he tried to say Darnell Washington may be a bust, but Darnell was actually the highest rated tight end by PFF in after the first preseason game. And then there were several highlights where he was just tossing people.
Yeah.
So as a blocker, Darnell's pretty damn good. We don't even give him the opportunity to catch the balls. Like that's one thing I would have to say if we're gonna sit here and critique players and be like, oh yeah, I don't think they're very good. But if they're not even getting a shot to showcase what it is that they can do, it's hard to make that evaluation or that judgment on him.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. Like you can't. I don't know. You can't call. What was he, a fourth round pick?
Darnell, third or fourth?
Late. Like, is there such thing as the third or fourth round bust? Like, what are you expecting? Are you expecting to draft Hall of Famers in the third and fourth round? Like, if the dude plays however many years as a legit blocking tight end, which he already is, like that's great value that you picked up. And I mean, I trust Arthur Smith to at least give. It should be the easiest thing to just throw it up at least once in the red zone to this dude who's 6'7" or whatever he is. So I trust that
Yeah.
will happen at least once this year, whereas last year it did not.
Yeah, in the preseason, he drew two penalties back to back
Just throw it
drives for
up. He's a
plays.
massive
Yeah, this,
human. Just throw it up.
yeah. Give our guys a shot, man. Just like give us a freaking shot. That was so painful to watch, very annoying, disheartening, and I can't wait for week one.
What are we gonna do? Has there been word about this? The last game of this, like the last preseason game. Like, are we playing starters at all? Like, what's
There hasn't been, I've been on SteelersObservers.com multiple times ever since that game. And no, nothing, no word, really no media, none of the players like really talking to anybody or Tomlin. So I'm not sure.
we've got the Lions. I mean, you've got that extra week before the season starts. I mean, if they don't play, they're sitting for another 2 or 3 weeks. Like,
I feel like we see the offense, at least
I mean,
that,
I think the O line's got to get out. As much as I don't want to risk injury, like those dudes need the work. They need the work.
yeah.
Those
But
guys need the work. They need to start gelling a little bit. Like I said, I think I would do Rust for like a series just to see some live action again and just, start to get the feel. Um,
we put
I wouldn't
Pickens out
if
there.
Warren's hurt, I wouldn't touch. No, Najee would not be out there if Warren's hurt. You can't risk the two of them being hurt.
Yeah, I would not want to play Najee.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be. I would if Grant's in a tizzy about this, I would advise not watching that game.
Yeah, yeah. He was upset about Jalen being hurt, but I mean, it's a football player. These are football players. It's what they want to do. So just being like, don't play him in the preseason. I mean, it could have happened week one. It could happen at
Yeah.
any point in time, like these injuries themselves. So
But
a tough
are we
one.
gonna get Ayuk or like what's happening here?
Dude, I can't believe that the 49ers, a franchise like that, is allowing this guy to do this. So I'm very surprised. I feel like after this game, though, the price should have gone up because there was a very obvious need for Brandon Ayuk services in Pittsburgh.
See, yeah, they need. I still just don't think that we've shown anything of what we're thinking of doing.
So if that, let's say I was saying that, like, let's say I said that, Grant would be like, "Oh, we're baiting him, aren't we?" He would be talking shit. But no, I mean, I see what you're saying, but in that video that you sent was it all 22, but they showed the way that they covered Pickens and the way that they had him bracketed and double covered. And that is just going to be a nightmare for him all season if we don't
But
do
we didn't
something.
even try. Like, this is what I'm saying. It was so basic. We didn't even try to do any. Like, there was no there. It's not like we looked at the Bills' defense and like put together a game plan. We just went out there and like ran some plays. Like, if you want to double Pickens, you're gonna see like the game against the Bengals last year where Muth caught 9 for 100 yards up the seam. Like, you can't just you can't. They have enough players to where if you're gonna take away the one guy and we've got two running backs who are going to rush for 1,000 yards each, and a capable tight end who just has not been utilized since Ben's year with him. Like, stuff's gonna be there, and that's not to say like Roman Wilson can't come back and get into the groove. I still feel like their stable of receivers will just not be one consistent guy. Like, it's gonna be like one game Roman's gonna have 5 catches for 50 yards and look good, and the next game Van Jefferson's gonna have 3 for 60 and like make a big catch. Like, I don't think it's gonna be like one main guy on that side, but they're just gonna like play some sort of matchup because Van Jefferson can block. We think Roman can do some stuff. Calvin can run up a steam really fast. Like, There's ways to like scheme something, and
Calvin
there's no
does pretty
chance they're
well for
showing
me.
any of that.
Calvin does pretty well for me in Madden. Have you been playing it?
A little bit, yeah.
Man, it's so unrealistic. They had Cole Holcomb starting. Lamar Jackson completed 3 third down conversions through the air. That's
Did you
the most
lose?
unrealistic shit. I went to overtime with the Ravens.
That wasn't my question.
I did. I did. And I thought about going for two at the end of the game and saying YOLO, but took it to overtime and lost. But
I can't
yeah,
believe you admitted that on.
I got to be honest, man. If I'm not honest, then I'll pay for it later.
All right.
I'm trying to have good karma because what the hell? I'm hoping that because we were so excited during the preseason last year, and now we're all like terrified that we have like the opposite result. We get it together, and we get it together sooner than later. Like, I don't want to see us go through the bye week, and we're like, what's the identity of this team? I want to
Yeah,
have that established. I want to have a good record heading into the gauntlet that we're about to go into at the end of the season. People will call it a gauntlet, but we always play our division rivals just fine. Like, y'all are scared of them. We aren't. We're ready to roll. It's gonna be fun at the end of the season. Fuck it.
I think it'll be fine. I
Yeah.
do think that first game is going to be tougher than originally thought. Um,
Oh yeah. They picked up Judon, then they signed
Justin
Simmons.
Simmons,
Yeah. It they loaded up.
yeah. But no, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I can't put any stock in
I
these two
think
games whatsoever.
I think Nick Herbig is gonna kill Kirk Cousins at some point
That's
next
the other
year.
one. We let the Nate is the brother is the other injury. So there's like
Hmm.
our swing interior lineman back up. Like
He was starting center.
he
He
that was
opened
a
the
that
he
I
opened the
mean
door for Zach Frazier.
yeah that he was never going to be starting center on week one, guaranteed.
Well, Frazier's getting those reps, and he's actually looked pretty good. He's been one of the better ones. He and Sayamalu. Daniels didn't have a good game. I was texting that in the first half. I was like, I don't think Daniels is playing that well either. The whole right side
No,
looks like
that
shit.
that little if he blocks his man on that screen to Warren, Warren's still running.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
you talk like just like looking at stats. Like go look at that play. They caught a little screen. There was like two defenders over there. They had two guys man to man to block him, and like I don't even think Daniels got his hands on his guy.
I'm wondering when Mason McCormick makes his way. I wonder if he moves better than Daniels does.
Has to.
That's it. I'm interested in Mason McCormick because he's gonna like honestly, we have outside of Samalu, our starting O line is gonna be pretty much set, right?
Yeah.
That
Well,
core, it's there.
I mean, who knows what these? Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I don't know, dude. Are we gonna play Broderick at left tackle?
Or are
It
we
should
gonna
be
keep
Jones,
fucking Tyler
Sayamalu,
Jones?
Frazier. If Daniels is not coming back next year, then McCormick and Fautanu.
We're not bringing back Daniels. They told him he
No,
was
yeah,
talking to
he's
the
they're
press.
not gonna.
Yeah,
They have to start paying people pretty soon, specifically a quarterback at some point. But that's next year's problem.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I like Justin Fields' mobility, his creativity, but an opportunity to sit behind Russ, watch, observe could be good for him. And if he has to come in at some point, just hopefully he's ready for the moment.
He's got to. I don't know. Like I just don't think you can. I think Lamar is like the pinnacle of this, like of the modern day NFL that we know of just like super athletic, can run and do all this stuff, but lacks like the A+ ability of throwing the football.
He's a poor man's Michael Vick.
Yeah, and it's
I said
so
it.
hard to win. Like no one has won, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like who has won with a quarterback that can't just like sit there and pick apart a defense? They're like Manning, Brady, Roethlisberger, Eli Manning wasn't running around. Mahomes isn't running like a running quarterback. He's running to like escape pressure and throw downfield, but like he can throw.
Mhm.
Like I haven't seen that from Fields in these two games of like given like ample opportunity to piece up backup defenses. He's not doing that.
We also don't, well, I was about to say something about the receivers, but then you think about Brady, you think about Mahomes. They don't necessarily have the best receivers. So, yeah, you're right.
So I don't know. I mean, he's athletic as hell. I think you could win, and with a good team. The Bears were not a good team with them. With a good team, like I mean, we talk about the Ravens. Like if I was the Ravens, he would be my. Would be like trying to do something to get Fields as my backup for those times that Lamar gets hurt and you don't have to change the
Yeah.
offense at all, and you just put in this other crazy athletic dude. But I don't know. Like I don't. I'm not quite sure. I'm not there yet that like Fields is the long term answer.
I feel like if he came in, he could keep us on schedule, though, with his legs.
I'm sure that we could win games. Yeah.
Yeah, with the defense. I mean,
Yeah.
he hasn't had a defense like that.
No. There's no doubt he could win
That's
games. Lamar wins
that's
games, but he
that's
doesn't win
all.
big ones.
No, Julian Edelman said he's like on a milk carton when it comes to the playoffs. Nowhere to be found. I love that one. Thanks, Julian. But yeah, tough, tough start. It's a little dejecting. I hate getting on calls with other football fans, and then they got to remind you, oh, Steelers didn't look that good. Oh, and for the friends and everything, some of y'all listen, but if you're not watching the games and you're simply watching the highlights and you try to make that judgment, like, oh, Russell Wilson doesn't look that good, you guys are in trouble and everything, and you don't acknowledge, like, football is a team sport, and if something breaks down, guess what? Somebody else is going to struggle because of that. So easy.
Yeah.
We'll be we'll be all right.
Nobody played particularly well, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. So we got the Lions next.
Hmm.
All right, man. That's a hell of a team. What do you think? Would they play their starters?
I don't know, man. It seems like every coach has like a different philosophy about it.
It's Dan Campbell, and you know how he is. He's a rah-rah guy.
Yeah, they're all
He likes
playing.
to go,
He's playing the
yeah.
starters 4 quarters. I heard.
Yeah, really. Fuck, their offensive line is really good. I mean, you have all those high draft picks. Guess you get an opportunity to build a killer offensive line, but
Yeah,
we don't have that luxury very often. So,
that's the difference, man. Like even as much as we love Broderick and Faltano, like one we traded up for, and he was the fourth or fifth tackle taken that year. Faltano dropped to us in the 20s. Like you go watch the highlights of like Joe Alt with the Chargers, who was like the number 3 overall pick, and
mhm,
no one was getting by him on Sunday.
yeah.
Um, so it's just there can be a drop off from like the number 2 overall pick to the 20th. So like let's give these guys some time.
All right. I guess the other thing, we didn't mention Peyton Wilson's been all over the field, went out with a concussion,
I forgot
but
about that one too. God
he's
damn.
been he's been another bright spot for this team. So there are this I forgot. We just haven't put everything together, like everybody on the field at the same time. It's just been like piecing it together. And so when we see a complete product, who knows? We'll see.
Will we ever see it? I
Week,
mean,
week one. Week one.
yeah, right. Well, I mean, our recent years that we had TJ hurt in week 1, Cam hurt in week 1 or 2.
Mm,
Um, what the Minka got hurt? Minka got hurt last year.
mhm.
So who knows? We'll
Keep him
see.
off the field. Don't play him anymore in the
Yeah.
preseason. I don't want to see TJ in the
Yeah,
preseason.
maybe I just talk myself out of it.
Yeah.
Give me a steady dose of Kyle Allen on
There you
Sunday.
go. No Pickens. Yeah, keep him off the field.
We can't lose Pickett. Yeah, we can't. We're
God,
not
we
that
have
deep.
the
We're not that deep of a team. Can't lose any more
no.
starters.
So we need Warren. Man, I hope he doesn't miss week one, but I also don't want to rush him back. Who's RB2 at that point? Is it Patterson?
Probably. They got
That's what I
that
was
that
thinking.
dude who's been playing last week. Was it Jonathan Ward or something like that? little speedy guy.
I've been hearing his name a good bit.
I mean, either way, I mean, I've got 100% faith in Najee. Like, if Warren is out, I think Najee just plays like almost 100% of the snaps.
Najee just eats like he always has.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like they haven't used him the same way as since his rookie year, but like Ben threw him the ball because Ben threw a lot of checkdowns, but like Najee's fully capable of catching out of the backfield, blocking, running. Like he can play all three downs. If Warren's not there, just play Najee, slip in Patterson for a series or two. He'll be fine.
Hey, Najee.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's all I had.
Yeah. It's preseason.
Gosh, I can't wait. We gotta just to make up for that, man.
One
Okay.
touchdown will be nice.
It'd be great. Be great. We'll get there. We'll
Yeah.
put it together. All
All
right,
right.
man. Observers out.